Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Liam Harrison, legend of the game. Bit cold over there by the looks of it. How you doing?
Yeah, mate. Middle of fucking January in England, it's absolutely freezing, mate. I've just been walking dog as well, so I've just come back in. I've still got my hat on and that, so.
Fair play. We've got an event this weekend. We thought we were going to see you. What happened? Why did you decide to pull out? Was that a difficult decision?
It wasn't difficult at all, mate, to be honest. No, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not really interested in fighting John Lineker. There's nothing in it for me whatsoever. What is in it for me to fight an MMA fighter? Nothing. I was doing it because I was just that eager to get back in the ring. I'd have fought anyone that had put in front of me. But I've been having some knee problems. Obviously, I've had knee problems for quite a few years now. And what Ngannou did to it didn't really help because he absolutely obliterated every fucking thing that you can go wrong with your knee. He did it to me in that fight, and it's kept me. I've been out since that. So I started getting back into training. Things were going all right for the first couple of weeks, and then my knee started to ache. Then it started to ache a bit more. Then it started to swell up. And then for every day, 2 days that we're doing really good hard training and feeling good, or having 2 days when my knee was swollen and I couldn't really walk and couldn't really get around. You can't go through a fight camp like that. And if I fought John Lineker in my prime, 100 times out of 100, I'd absolutely school him and humiliate him. I'm not giving anyone that I know I could absolutely obliterate a chance of beating me because I'm going into it 30-40% and with injuries and stuff like that. I was very close to even retiring because I'd thought I'm 38. I've had all these fights, 120 fights nearly pro, 92 wins, 52 knockouts. I thought, what else is there for me to do here? And I really wanted to fight. And then I thought, you know what, I'll have one last go and I'll go to Costa Rica and I'll get stem cell treatment and I'll see how that goes because a couple of my friends have gone to this clinic and a couple of guys I know who fight in UFC have gone there and they swear by it. So I thought, I'll give it a chance. So I've gone out there, I've got that treatment done and it's been amazing so far. My knee's not swelling. I'm training hard at the minute. Yeah, and I'm feeling my knee's feeling the best it's felt in years. Don't get me wrong, it's still not the best it's ever going to be, but there's no swelling, there's no pain. For the last 3 years, it's been a struggle getting out of bed in the morning. I wake up every morning early, I take the dog out, and I go for a walk for about an hour with the dog. And usually I'm walking for about 30 minutes before my knee stops hurting and I stop walking with a limp. And that's been for about 4 years I've been fighting like that. Since just before the Rodlek fight in 2019, I had my first surgery and I've just had pain for 4 years. So to wake up on a morning and not be in pain for the first time in 4 years, it's fucking amazing, to be fair. It just feels nice just getting around my everyday life, not being in pain, not having my knees swollen up all the time. And yeah, so hopefully I can fight around April time. That'd be nice. Might be my last one, might not be, we'll see. But I'd like it to, if it is my last one, I'd like it to be against Seksan. I've accepted that, he's accepted that. One of the guys from One has said, yeah, we can make that fight happen. So I just want to get it over the line and get a contract there and we can make it happen. So I think we can make something really special for fans. I think me and Seksan, I think it'll be absolutely ridiculous. So we'll see.
What is it about him? I mean, he's flying right now. What is it, 8 fight win streak? And he's so entertaining. And you obviously come to fight every single time. Is it the prospect of a classic?
Yeah, and it's not only that. Seksan's one of my heroes. He has been for many years. What he's done for the sport and the entertainment he has given the fans over the years by putting his body just out there and on the line is absolutely ridiculous. You know, you're always going to get an absolute war with him. And what if it is if it's going to be my last fight, I'd like it to be an absolute classic. And I think he's the guy who'll be able to provide that for me. Also, I fought every single legend from this era. I've not missed anyone off the list other than him. So if I can get him to the list, I'll be really happy with the resume. And it'd just be a nice way to bow out if that is my last fight. And yeah, like I said, I'm not. There's nothing behind. The only reason I want to fight him is not. There's no disrespect or everything. It's not out of fucking hate. It's out of love and admiration for how he fights, and I think what we can make for the fans and what we could make for like my possibly my last fight. I think it'd be just a really good way to bow out in a blaze of glory. Win, lose or draw, it's going to be ridiculous. So I think it'd be a good one.
Ngannou, he's coming off 2 losses in 2023. Did you expect him to have such a bad year?
Um, he's getting old, isn't he? And he's after the knockout against Haggerty. That one of them type of knockouts where you just get a bit old overnight and your reflexes just aren't that good. your head movement isn't that good, and then you just suddenly slow down. And I can relate to it because I'm a similar age to him, and things start to just get that little bit slower, and that's what's happened. Like I don't think he'd have got like a couple of years ago the shots that Haggerty caught him with, he probably wouldn't have got caught with them, and maybe he wouldn't have got caught like with the Nico one as well. But like when you're 37 and you've had 300 fights and your body's like a bit worn down and your reflexes are, you're fighting in 4 ounce gloves, your reflexes have to be boom like that. Because when you've got young, hungry kids who can fucking hit sharp and fast like Haggerty and Nico can, then you can't be fucking taking them shots off them guys, especially like Nico because he's absolutely humongous. He's the biggest bantamweight I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, you need to be 100% on your game, and obviously he's still so strong and he's still vicious because obviously he had Nico in all kinds of trouble, but then once Nico just put it on him, his size, his strength, his speed, and his power all came into play, and there wasn't much he can do. I hope he doesn't take any fights against any of these youngsters like that anymore because I don't want to see him get knocked out like that. It's not nice to see when you're watching a legend get knocked out, and after especially everything that he's done for the sport. And the run he had as a champion, what he did in the stadiums. It's not nice to watch someone like that getting knocked out and getting hurt. So maybe if he's going to carry on fighting, hopefully we can put him in with some guys his similar age to him. Let him bow out with a few wins, go out in style because that's what he deserves.
How impressed have you been with Nico? You're right, he's an absolute giant of a bantamweight. What do you like about him? I think you called that result, didn't you, against Ngannou?
I did, mate. I knew as soon as Nico got close enough to land on him, that'd be that. I've worked with Nico before down at Bad Company at my gym and that, and he's so explosive and so powerful. And I like how JP trains him. I like his mindset. I like how hard he works. I like how much he believes in himself. He's a nice kid. Nico's a nice guy. So I'd like to see him do well. Obviously, him and Aggie will be an incredible fight, and I'm pretty sure that's got to be on the cards. I know Haggerty's got a title defense against Lobo. I'm not sure why that's happening, to be fair, but yeah.
I don't think that's public knowledge, is it? Is
No,
it?
well, it is now. It is now. Yeah, no one wants to see that fight. I know that they need to keep him busy. What I'd prefer to happen is watch Haggerty versus Akimoto for the kickboxing belt because Akimoto deserves a shot. And that would be a proper fucking scrap. And then they can wait for. I think Nico's hurt his hand against Ngannou, so then they could have waited a little bit because that's the only fight that makes sense in the bantamweight division for Muay Thai for Nico to get a title shot. I don't think anyone's too interested in Lobo versus Haggerty. Well, I know I'm not. But if someone said Nico versus Haggerty, that's going to get a big buzz. Everyone will be like, "Oh wow, this is going to be a serious fight." Don't get me wrong, Lobo's good. I think he'll could cause Haggerty problems, but I think as soon as that fight gets announced, everyone's just going to go, "Oh, Haggerty, white floor with him." But you can't underestimate Lobo. He's technically good, but if Haggerty and Nico gets announced, then that's going to get a fucking serious buzz. Um, I think if Haggerty and Akamoto got announced, that'd get a really good buzz as well. But yeah, it is what it is, and let's see what happens. I'm really looking for if Haggerty keeps hold of the belt against Lobo, which I think he will. Him versus Nico next is that's the fight.
Well, it's got everything, hasn't it? It's not just like two guys probably at the top of their game in their primes, but like it's really good from a UK perspective, especially with the Sky Sports thing. And both of them don't mind a bit of chat. So the pre-fight's going to be really interesting as well. But how does the fight actually go, in your opinion?
I think Nico's too big and too strong. Haggerty's got a really good guard in the 4 ounce glove. He's probably got the best defense in 4 ounce gloves, Haggerty. But how the fuck are you meant to stop Nico when he's just that big and that strong? How do you stop him getting close to you for 5 full rounds? Uh, I'd have to go with Nico. I think he's just too big, too strong. He's hungry. He lives the life. And to be fair, I think I'd like to see Nico win that title as well, but just because of how hard he works and just because of his mindset and everything like that, he really, really does work hard. So it'll be nice to see. But like I say, it's a great fight. You can never count on get you out in anything, can you? He's always dangerous, and he's sharp and he's snappy and he's got that head kicking out of nowhere. And obviously, he's a lot stronger at bantamweight than he was down at the other weight. So it's an interesting fight, but I'd probably have to go with Nico just for size, strength, power.
Does he stop him, you reckon, or it goes 5?
Quite possibly, yeah. It depends how Agate fights. If Agate stands in front of him, yeah, Yeah, do you know what? It's a tough one, isn't it? I get he's got like I said, I get he's got really good defense and really good footwork and movement. He moves around well and he can avoid taking too much damage. Yeah, it's a tough one, mate. I wouldn't like to call it whether it gets stopped or not, but yeah, I think I'd edge with Nico though.
I asked Liam Nolan today if this is a golden era for the UK for fighters, and he said it is, and he's been saying it for a while. And we've got Freddie Haggerty, who I've not seen much of. He's like 19, isn't he? So we've got guys like you who've done it all for everybody, and then we've got new talent, and then guys in their peak like Nolan, like Haggerty, like Carrillo. Freddie Haggerty's half our age, which is just mad, isn't it? But like, what's he like, and what's the scene like in your opinion at the moment?
Yeah, it's I don't know if I call it a golden era because I think this is just a new era. It's a new sport. This MMA gloves 3 rounds format. If I'd have fought most of the ties I did in my career, I've got 25 losses on my record out of 120 fights. If I'd have fought, most of them are against elite level ties who beat me on points. If I'd have fought them under 3 rounds in 4 ounce gloves, I'm telling you now, 90% of them, and I knocked them clean out. So I don't think it is a golden era. I think it's a new era. It's this new style of Muay Thai that's come out. And we're fucking very good at it in the UK, it seems, because we've got like guys like Nolan. I think he's ranked Jacob Smith, number 2 at 61 kilos. Haggerty, the champion, double champ. Nico, now ranked number 1. I think I'm still in top 5. So we're very clearly very good at it in the UK. And obviously, this style of fighting in the Thais aren't used to it, and that shows on these One Championship Friday shows because a lot of them go in there against all these like Russian guys and Eastern Europeans from this Venom gym and that, and they get fucking flattened because they're just not used to the heavy hands in 4 ounce gloves. And the Westerners here, they're very dangerous at this new style of Muay Thai. Obviously, it's not traditional. A lot of these guys, you put them in 8 ounce gloves and 5 threes in the stadium, you throw them in the stadium, they aren't going to win a fight. But under this new hard-hitting 3 round format, it's exciting. And if you've got power, if you're tough, and you can take a bit of a beating and put yourself in the right place to land, or you only need one shot, you're gonna go far in this. Going back to Freddie Haggerty, yeah, he's very good. I've only seen a few of his fights as a youngster, but he's entertaining to watch. Similar style to John. He's a lovely kid as well, really nice kid. So I hope he does really well. And it'll be a fucking great little story if he can have a little run in One Championship alongside his brother and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool, especially for UK. That to have 2 brothers both doing it and stuff. Yeah, it'd be a good story. That I'd like to see it.
You're one of the biggest names in the sport. I think you've got almost 1 million followers now. Has your reputation been enhanced since you joined One at all, or has like your kind of presence been enhanced?
Yeah, probably. I've had some exciting fights on one with the Rodlet fight and the Muay Thai fight, so it's been nice to get those just so people, especially because it's come at the back end of my career. If not gone, I wouldn't have smashed my knee into 1 million pieces. I probably could have had quite a few more fights last year and exciting fights to finish it off. But that's basically been a career-ending fucking injury. What he's done to me, he's basically ended my career with that fucking kick because my knee just didn't been the same since. But like I say, I definitely want this fight against Seksan, and if that's my last one, like I say, it'll be a nice one to bow out on, and then hopefully I can win another like fight at year style fight like we did against Muay Thai, and that'd be nice to bow out on something like that. But we'll see. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, my knee feels all right at the minute, but what I don't want to do is I've got a really good thing going with my seminars and with my coaching, and obviously a fighter's life comes in different sections, and my section as a fighter is nearly up. But my next section, I want to be a coach, and I want to be in the gym. I want to be holding pads for the fighters every day. I want to be sparring everyone every day. I want to be helping bring on the new generation. I want to be traveling the world doing my seminars. And if I run myself into the ground and fuck my knee up to the point of no return, then I'm not going to be able to do that. So that's why I had to be careful against like the Lineker fight. I'm thinking, is there any point me smashing my knee to absolute bits just to fight an MMA guy who I really don't care about fighting? And I know he wants to fight me to keep writing it all over the internet, but I've got no interest in doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's actually in it for me? I flog him all over the place, and everyone will be like, "Yeah, so what? Liam Patterson, an MMA fighter." Or if he caught me, because he can punch through walls, if he just caught me in them 4 rounds gloves and fucking sparked me or something, then what's the point? Especially because if my knee was that fucked, I couldn't move properly. It's better now and I'm moving back like I was before. But like then, my knee was swollen all the time and I couldn't move properly. If you get stuck in the mud against someone like him and he just swings like he does, swinging all over the place and hits you on chin, I don't care who you are, you're not getting up. So it was just too big of a risk to go into it, like carrying an injury like that. So that's the reason why I didn't do it. So
Can we draw a line under that one? That fight isn't happening and it's never happening.
well, I like I said, I am willing to put my body through the ringer one last time for the Seksan fight. No one else. If they don't give me that Seksan contract, I'll just stop training now and just go back to coaching because I can make a serious amount of money doing my seminar tours. I've got one lined up in Australia. I've got 2 in America on East and West Coast. I've got 1 back in Canada. So I'll just go do that and I'll be happy. That is the only fight I want. So if I don't get that contract through soon, I'll just stop training and I'll go do that. If that fight does come through and it happens, though, I've seen Lineker keeps asking for a boxing fight. I'll happily do that after the Seksan fight. I'll happily do that with him. Let me get my Muay Thai career out of the way. I'll retire on that. And if he wants to fight boxing, then I would fight boxing with him. But yeah, we'll just see what happens from here.
Get out to Malaysia with your seminars, man. You're brilliant on podcasts. I love hearing you on podcasts. What does Rogan think of One Championship, by the way?
He loves it. We talk about it quite a lot whenever I get in touch with him still. He thinks it's fucking wild. He's a real big fan of Muay Thai, is Joe. So obviously for him to see that level of it in the 4-ounce gloves and that as well, he's a really big fan of it. I've been trying. Last time I spoke to him, I said to him, "Oh, when we're in America, when it comes to America, I know Chatry would love to get you like ringside and that. So hopefully he'll be ringside for one of the shows when we go back to America. I don't know when that's going to be. But I believe there's 2 shows this year that are going to be in America. So maybe we can get him there for one of them because that'd be pretty cool to have him ringside watching it live.
That'd be quality. We're going to wrap up with the perfect striker, if that's all right with you. So first up, who are you going with? Punches, building the perfect striker out of 1. You.
Me.
Liam Harrison.
No one's got better left hook than me in one. I don't give a fuck who it is, what they say. No one's got a better left hook. I've got more knockouts on my record from punches than most of them guys have even had fights.
Elbows?
Ooh, elbows, super leg.
Knees?
Also super leg. I love his knee. I loved his knees against Rod Tang. I loved them.
Kicks?
Tawan Chai or Nongo.
Chin?
Can't go in Rod Tang. Well, you can't go anywhere other than Rod Tang, can you? Really, fucking hell.
And best mic skills?
Me.
Fair play. We need more of it. We need more of it in the game.
I'm trying to think who else. I'm trying to think of who else I look at on the mic and think, oh, that was fun. Do you know what? I like Reece McLaren. He makes me laugh. And Jared, Monkey God, he's good. He fucking cracks me up, mate. I love that guy. Yeah, put Jared in. He can have the mic skills. He makes me laugh so bad. Every time he opens his mouth, he proper makes me laugh, even when he don't mean to. He's so funny.
He's full of energy, that dude. It's been a pleasure, Liam. Yeah. I hope I get to see that Seksan fight. That's going to be a classic. Good luck with the knee, and I hope the stem cells working the magic. And good to see you.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you feel.